Advocate for Good Governance Sierra Leone is a non-governmental organization based in Sierra Leone.
Good afternoon, my fellow Sierra Leoneans. This now na Sister Dey Talk, Sister RUGIE from London. The date today na the 3rd of May 2020. I dey make this video on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone, wey na a registered organization based in Sierra Leone. I've been promised for make a video as I been don't send a message out to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone on the 29th of April 2020. So I been make a promise for make another video in terms of the public health belief model, some of the 6 stages where we actually follow as public health promoters for make sure say we particularly understand the individual, the behavior towards the health aspect. So for you able for target the individual, the behavior towards the health aspects as health promoters, you get for in a better position for make sure so you try to understand how the individual they look at the health aspect in terms of the situation where we particularly get in the country, for example, like the coronavirus. So if you're able for address the 6 stages there, then you will able for stay in a better position as public health promoters and the country at large for make sure say we not miss out any of them 6 stages there, while the coronavirus we try for work together Sierra Leoneans for stop the spread of coronavirus. As His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, they also put some measures them for make sure say the public they follow to them rules and regulations then they for stop the spread of the coronavirus and for try for eradicate them in our country. So I've been promised say I will go through the 6 stages them. So the 6 stages where they under the health belief model now and perceived susceptibility. Now at this very difficult time, how we as Sierra Leoneans we able for know say coronavirus is not just come for target an individual, but coronavirus now opportunistic virus where it be say the moment it gets opportunity for invade to the host, for invade to an individual, you go take that opportunity there for do so. And perceived susceptibility we get for day in a better position for no say coronavirus is real. Coronavirus now virus where they kill, and coronavirus is very dangerous, and as well as coronavirus is also there for target everybody, not just one person. So if you as an individual are not able to convince yourself as a result of 10 things there way I don't call, then you're in a better position for take the appropriate measures then. We also look at perceived susceptibility. Perceived susceptibility is how we as Sierra Leoneans able to convince ourselves say the coronavirus is very serious, coronavirus is very dangerous. You get for know the severity of the virus itself before you go there in a better position for comply to the rules and regulations where the government don't put in place in the country itself. Perceived barriers as health promoters and on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone will be done particularly state out some of the barriers them where we take notice in the country under the government of His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada. We take notice at this very difficult time, the people in desperate they need food in the country, the people in desperate they need water. And His Excellency also therefore able for monitor in the 117 services where they introduced in the country where in the emergency services, so make sure so it fits for its purpose, it efficient, and it take calls them immediately when it is applicable, or it take calls them as soon as possible and respond to emergency call as soon as possible. So we particularly remind His Excellency that despite the fact that it don't do so much for put measures them for make sure say them in government prevents the spread of coronavirus, but we particularly they ask again on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone, let it consider in citizens them in terms of these very difficult circumstances like the food aspects and as well as the water aspects where it be say there were another necessity. People and desperately need the help of His Excellency in government at this very difficult time. So we don't remind His Excellency about the barriers where we don't take notice of through a video we are disseminate on the 29th of April 2020. We also get cure to action. Cure to action simply means that at this very difficult time because of the coronavirus in the country, His Excellency in government therefore able for the in a better position for continue for remind the nation, for continue for remind the people about the measures them we done in place, how important they are, and how them for able for use them to their own benefits. So, and I particularly take notice the government, they also put measures in place for they remind the people them. But all this one, it is under this the public health belief model. When a pandemic come, like which we don't get in the country, the coronavirus, the government get for the in a better position for they remind the people them every now and then about the importance of them measures then they where they don't put in place for let the public able for maximize them, for let they able for prevent themselves from this dangerous coronavirus. We also get perceived benefits. Perceived benefits for let people and be able to know the benefits of the measures them where His Excellency don't introduce in the country, then get for able for they in a better position for appreciate the fact that the coronavirus is severe. Then get for they in a better position for understand the severity of the coronavirus. Then get for they in a better position for understand that if you not take the measures, them you not apply them to your own benefits, you the individual itself, you don't put your life at risk. You the individual yourself, you don't be at a high risk for expose yourself to this very dangerous virus we don't invade the country. So for let them able for understand all the importance of their measures there, then get for they in a better position for understand first the severity of the coronavirus, how dangerous it is. Then you go put them in a better position for make sure say them comply with the rules and regulations. Because you never go tell somebody say wash your hand, the person don't know what make it the wash your hand for. You never go tell somebody about the importance of the distance, the person don't know why the distance itself from other people. You never go tell people about the importance of the elbow for cough and sneeze, while the person don't know waiting if they do that. So we also they call on the government, His Excellency His Excellency on behalf of the Advocate for Good Governance, Sierra Leone, then continue for do that now the country as well for educate the people one more time. And we also get self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is that the people and they in a better position for comply with the rules and regulation. The people and they in a better position for wash the hands them as a result of this very dangerous virus we don't in the country. Then they in a better position for successfully put the measures them into practice as a result of this coronavirus we don't in the country itself. So now all then 6 aspects there where I don't call now in the under the health belief model for make sure say a pandemic like this, the individual and or the group of people or the nation able for work hand in hand with the government for make sure say they're able for stop this coronavirus for letting us spread from one place to another. Let remind una again once more on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone for remind una say coronavirus is real. Una get for try for protect una self. Una also get for try for protect the other people around una. Una stay at home as una don't dey by this lockdown for 3 days and una stay safe. Once again, on behalf of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone, stay safe.
These and many more therefore be part of the change, and Sierra Leone including the world will be a better place to be.